As we know, Falcons have a new head coach in Kevin Stefanski, but they're going to have a familiar face leading the defense as DC Jeff Ulbrich was brought back for yet another season. Well, he met with the media on Wednesday and knows what he wants the team to address come this offseason.
There's a huge investment in the defense, especially the defensive line in the front. To me, that's where championship teams are built, not just championship defenses. Saw this graphic about like every playoff team and their investment in their defensive line, whether it be draft capital or money. And the top defensive lines in the NFL were all the playoff teams. You know, Houston has $180 million in their defensive line. New England, when Milton was on top of what they had already invested a ton of money in. Obviously, Seattle, across the board, whether it be first-round picks or high-priced veterans, huge investment. Go back to last Super Bowl winner. Like, Philadelphia won a world championship. We can say what we want because of their defensive line.
All right, Manti, so what I'm hearing from Coach Ulbrich is show me the money, particularly on defense, because as we saw in the Super Bowl, in that adage, defense wins championships. How do you feel like they can really kind of piece this together and try to make things right defensively in Atlanta?
Well, you know, Coach Ulbrich just said it. When you look around the league, you look at all the best teams in the league, they have the best defenses, specifically the defensive line. I'm so glad that he said defensive line and not pass rusher. There's sometimes people are enamored with the pass rusher on the right or the pass rusher on the left. All the guys that Coach Ulbrich mentioned were interior D linemen. Yeah. Understanding that the strength of your team is on the interior side. Yes, it's nice to have fancy guys on the outside that can get to the pass rusher and get to him quickly. If you can have that, great. But if the interior of your defensive line isn't stout, which the Seattle Seahawks had, which the Eagles had before them, you're not going to be the type of defense that you need to be to win a Super Bowl. So I'm so glad that coaches are starting to realize that defenses do win you championships, and it's been that case the past 2 years, Cher.
Yeah, definitely give a shout out to those guys right there, like you said, in the middle of the trenches.
My best friends. Make it easy for me. Let me run and make tackles for you.
But can I remind you, the Falcons do not have a first-round pick in this year's draft after trading it to the Rams. So they don't have a selection until pick 48. Going to see who they can maybe pick up, if not at least in free agency. So, again, big shout-out to the big boys there.
They got David Onyemata, though. The guy's a monster.
Ooh.
Guy's a monster. Interior D-line was with me in New Orleans. He's over there in Atlanta. That dude's a monster.
All right, keep an eye out for him. And don't go anywhere. We have much more GMFB coming your way next.
Said, your coach's name is Mike McDonald. He's like, wait, it'll come. I got it. It's my quarterback. And Mike McDonald. Well done, JSN. I think you might be my MVP. From the celebrated Super Bowl champion Seahawks parade yesterday, the day started with a trophy celebration at Lumen Field. My God, was that the start of the day? Then they got on the floats and they paraded through downtown. I hope so. Mike G, do you have an MVP from all the footage that we saw that has a bunch of landmines in it, by the way, from the Seahawks championship parade?
Well, speaking of those landmines, Steve Rabel, the voice of the Seahawks, the radio play-by-play guy, he's honorable mention for me because some of his expressions, like when Ernest Jones goes off there and you see, don't know, he did it. So his facial expressions there the whole time. Reminded me of Harry Callis, the legendary Phillies announcer, who Chase Utley dropped an F-bomb way back, and he's standing. It's like it's like your grandfather's right there next to these guys cussing up and down. So honorable mention to Steve Rabel. MVP for me, though, John Schneider. No question about it.
I'd love to.
That is a party, and that's on a normal day. I can't even imagine what yesterday was like. So John Schneider for me. That was the full John Schneider experience. You could tell. I'm all about it.
Mike G, you bring up a great point. Kyle, I should pitch that you should do the coaches breakdown of the head coach's picture, but do it live.
Live.
Like make them stand up there, and then the footage is just you walking around and pointing at everybody. I think we're onto something here.
Thank you, Jamie. It's occurred to me before. It's possible there might be an issue of funding. I would only have to guess, but I probably...
No, we're good now.
Is that right?
I
don't know if that's true,
Mike. Mike G, you mentioned...
I don't know about that.
You mentioned John Schneider. Now, that was John Schneider's second Super Bowl, but that was also somebody else's second Super Bowl. It was Cooper Kupp. My MVP goes to Cooper Kupp, a guy that went up there. He didn't cuss. He didn't swear or anything, but he did make a Good Will Hunting reference, and I'd love for you guys to hear what he had to say. I just love Coop. he's just like that grandfather. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, I've been here before. Like, I'm from Washington. I'm from Yakima. But he also dropped a bar. He said, we embrace a style that nobody wanted to play. And then he pointed to the fans and he said, and you guys made it a stadium that nobody wanted to come to.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than a veteran guy that goes up there, thanks the fans. Obviously, he's from Washington, and then drops that bar, doesn't need to cuss, do all of those things. And then he does drop a Goodwill Hunting little bar over there, KB. And so I was like, man, that's such a GMFB style. So my MVP goes to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I was wondering about the Goodwill Hunting too. So I know there's apples in Washington, but that Goodwill Hunt, how about them apples is a Boston reference?
Well,
Is it
I think
because they beat the
Yakima
Patriots, or just
yeah, Yakima's an apple. It's like it's an apple town, I guess.
There's,
so like
there's little
deep.
subtleties in there, KB.
Yeah.
It was
'Cause
like,
you can't blame him for the Goodwill Hunting. You'd be like, no, Yakima's an apple town.
Yeah.
So like, how about them apples? But really, we know.
Also, when did Cooper Kupp become 48 years old? Did this happen overnight? Like, I swear he was like this youthful guy running around catching passes, and he still plays like it, but he gets up there, like Manti's calling him like the grandfather. So for some reason, he became like Obi-Wan Kenobi overnight. There's always one guy who you can point to who is kind of the J.R. Smith of the... Remember when J.R. Smith didn't wear a shirt for like a week after the Cavs won? A.J. Barner had a role in this, and he had like a fantastic jacket or coat like this. By the way, we all owe him a debt because he scored a touchdown finally, and he was the first guy to score in this game. He's cosplaying Jared Allen here, and he looks great. I love the hat, I love the jacket, and I love the strut. Get me what he's having. Like, he is down con la gente, interacting. He looks like he's not necessarily on this planet. Like, AJ, have yourself some fun. Some of us watch these parades, and we've never been in one, never will be in one. We kind of envision what we would be like if we were in one. I want to be that guy who's like one of his teammates has to come grab him and make sure he stays on the parade route. Like AJ might have wandered off somewhere. It's a fantastic jacket. It's a fantastic hat. And again, we sat through like a 2.5-hour, 3-hour slog, including the entire halftime show, until we got to a touchdown in this game, and A.J. Barner scored it for us. Look at him just going bottoms up with that thing. Absolutely beautiful. That's how I'd spend my parade. A.J., you get my game ball.
I think if we keep watching that, A.J., you're going to catch a video. You're going to catch a glimpse of the shirt he has underneath that fire coat, which is, I believe guys are wearing this shirt because it's the Marlboro Man, which is Sam Darnold's grandfather.
Yeah.
So, Dick Hammer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, again, to review.
and he also has that iced out chain. I think that's a chain he got in
his hand.
Yeah, Bud Light iced out chain thing. And that boy, he got.
Shout out to Sam Darnold, one of the 4 original Marlboro men.
Yep.
And they all had the Darnold Grandpa shirt on, which is awesome. We love. Which is why Sam Darnold looks so casual and cavalier having this cigar. Like, he knows it's in his genetic code. That's how he knows how to celebrate. Well done, A.J. Barner. I'm going back to the Jackson Smith and Jigba bite. That thing was awesome. Like, that's a happy friend at the end of the night. You know, like he just likes, I love everybody, and we love you too, JSN. All right, next up on GMFB, we are going to take you football adjacent because, right, is that what we're doing? Are we moving on GMFB, or are we going to keep? Okay, we got to keep looking at the Seahawks social from yesterday because they keep celebrating. We want to hear from the players and the coaches and how we always say on GMFB, just stack wins. Well, the Seahawks did so, but visually.
Oh, that's cool.
They have this hat rack, or, oh my God, it looks like look at that thing at the top. It's like an arrow.
It's an arrow.
It's like a spear.
A spear, there we go.
Yep.
Mike G, 2 questions. What are your thoughts on this? And how can the Seahawks accomplish this same statue next season? And, oh no, I don't even want to say the word repeat. We're not doing that. Mike G, go.
Yeah, has that helmet been impaled?
Yes.
Am I seeing that correctly?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring me their head on a stake.
Yes.
I think it's head on a plate. Head on a stake was Heart of Darkness. That's a different one. Which then became Apocalypse Now. Correct. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Yeah. What was the other question? Oh, right. How did the Seahawks top this? Double 2008 Phillies reference here. Going to go back to it. Because that is the only professional championship of my Philadelphia rooting career, because I can't root for the Eagles now, so it's sort of like where were these championships when I was living and dying with this team as a fan years ago? Whatever. So the Phils winning in 08, they beat the Tampa Bay Rays, and it was like, that's great, awesome, finally got a championship, first one since 1983. The following year, they play the Yankees, and they lose to the Yankees. CC, friend of the show, just kills them in that series. And it was this sort of like, well, I'd rather have beat the Yankees, not the least of which is I live in the New York market, so I've got Yankee fan friends. My best friend, I didn't talk to him for a week and a half.
Yeah.
Leading up to it, and he sent me a text as they were celebrating. I love you, pal. Yeah, I love you too. We hadn't talked in a week and a half. So it was horrible. It almost sort of like, So for the Seahawks next year, you got to beat the big dogs, the ones that you had referenced, Kyle, in the previous block of the show here, the Patrick Mahomeses, the Josh Allens, the something like that. Like, because you may look back at this and say,